Welcome to our deep dive. You ready to explore Carol Dweck's mindset?
Absolutely. It's a book that really makes you rethink how we view abilities.
Yeah, it really gets you thinking. Like, we always hear about talent like it's something you're just born with.
Right. Like some magical gift. But Dweck really flips that on its head.
Exactly. She introduces these two mindsets, the fixed one, where you believe your abilities are basically set.
And then the growth mindset, where you see your abilities as, well, something you can actually develop.
And the crazy thing is how much these mindsets affect us.
Oh, absolutely. Everything from dealing with challenges to relationships, it's all connected.
So for this deep dive, we're going beyond just like summarizing the book.
Right. We want to dig out the useful stuff, those lessons and advice you can actually use.
Exactly. Help you guys understand how to shift from fixed to growth. That's where the real change happens.
Couldn't agree more.
So Dweck shares this story early on about a mother who always praised her son for being smart.
Seemed harmless enough, right?
Totally. But it kind of backfired. The boy became so scared of not looking smart that he wouldn't try anything hard.
He was trapped by that label.
So what's the lesson here?
It's fascinating, right? Even well-intentioned praise can accidentally create that fixed mindset.
Because when we keep telling kids they're smart, it's like their value depends on always being right.
And then any obstacle, any failure, it feels like a threat.
So instead of praising like that, Dweck says focus on the effort, the process.
Yeah, like instead of you're so smart, try something like, wow, you put so much work into that.
I love that. Or I can tell you tried a bunch of different ways to solve that problem.
Exactly. It's a little change in words, but a big change in how kids see themselves.
And this isn't just for kids, is it?
Oh, not at all. We can all use this, think about how you react at work when things get tough.
Do you get discouraged? Or do you see it as a chance to learn?
Big difference. Another story that stuck with me was about Elizabeth, the gymnast.
Oh, yeah. She was heartbroken after a competition where she didn't win anything.
Totally devastated. But her dad, instead of just comforting her, he helped her look at what she could learn from it.
Asking her, what could you do differently next time? What did you observe from the other gymnasts?
Right. It teaches resilience, focusing on improving instead of just dwelling on the loss.
It's so easy to try and protect people from failure, but maybe we're actually stopping them from learning how to handle it.
It's like that saying, you have to fall to learn how to get back up.
Now think about Billy, whose dad just criticizes him, calls him dense or irresponsible when he struggles with homework.
Ouch, that kind of feedback stings.
It's not helpful at all. It just reinforces that fixed mindset.
Making him feel like his flaws are permanent.
Like there's no point in trying. So it seems like fixed mindset leads to judging the person, while growth mindset focuses on the process.
You hit the nail on the head. And this pattern also shows up in romantic relationships.
Oh, for sure. Dweck talks about this couple who thought that if their relationship was meant to be, it should be effortless.
No work required, right?
Yeah, any need for effort or compromise they saw as a sign they weren't compatible.
That's the fixed mindset in action.
But relationships do take work.
They absolutely do. It's communication, being willing to impact, growing together.
When people with a fixed mindset hit a rough patch, they're quick to give up.
They see it as proof the relationship is broken.
But those with a growth mindset, they see the differences as, well, normal.
They see the rough patches as opportunities to learn about each other.
It's about seeing those challenges as a chance to grow, both as individuals and as a couple.
Precisely. And I'm sure a lot of people relate to the story of Christina, that bright student who would freeze during tests.
Yeah, the anxiety just overwhelmed her.
Her counselor helped her see that everyone makes mistakes. It's normal.
That fear of looking stupid, it was holding her back.
It's such a classic sign of that fixed mindset.
Protecting your ego, trying to always appear smart.
But really, it prevents you from taking risks, asking questions, truly learning.
A growth mindset embraces the fact that we don't have to know everything.
It's freeing, isn't it?
It is. And Dweck's research shows that those with a growth mindset are more likely to embrace challenges, ask for help.
They don't give up easily. They actually find the learning process itself rewarding, even with the mistakes along the way.
Exactly. It's not just about the end goal, it's the journey. And speaking of learning, Dweck talks about this program called Brainology.
That's a cool one. It taught students about how adaptable the brain really is.
That our brains can actually grow and change through learning.
Which made them less afraid to try new things.
So it's not just changing your mindset, it's changing how you see your brain's potential.
Exactly. Realizing that you're not stuck with what you have, you can actually develop and grow.
But let's be real. Can we just flip a switch and suddenly become fearless learners?
I wish it were that easy, but it takes time and effort.
It's a journey, right?
It is. One of the first steps is figuring out what triggers that fixed mindset in you.
Those specific situations or thoughts.
Like receiving criticism, maybe, or comparing yourself to others.
Or when you face a really tough task and doubt creeps in.
Exactly. Once you know your triggers, you can start challenging those fixed mindset thoughts.
So when you catch yourself thinking, I'm not good at this, or I'll never be able to do that,
Stop and ask yourself, is that thought really true? Is it helping me?
it's about replacing that negative self-talk with more positive, growth-oriented thoughts.
You're rewiring your brain, basically.
But thinking about it isn't enough. We have to put it into practice.
Absolutely. Seek out challenges, welcome feedback, keep going even when it's hard.
And as you act with a growth mindset, those beliefs start to shift for real.
It becomes less of a concept and more of a way of life.
There's that great story of the student who got rejected from the Stanford Daily.
Oh yeah, but she didn't give up
She got some growth mindset advice and reached out again.
and ended up getting a writing position.
It's a perfect example of how a growth mindset can help you create opportunities even after setbacks.
Instead of letting rejection define her, she used it to learn and try again.
And that's what it's all about. A growth mindset isn't about never failing.
It's about seeing those failures as chances to learn and grow.
And that applies to everything, not just work or school.
It's a way of approaching life, believing you can develop, learn, become more resilient.
Exactly. Becoming a more capable person.
You got it.
Yeah.
It is. And it's not just about like personal growth.
Why, it's bigger than that.
Think about families, communities, even society as a whole. Like if everyone embraced this,
It changes the whole culture.
exactly, we start valuing learning, bouncing back from setbacks, working together.
We're more open to new ideas, helping each other, less judgmental.
It's a more supportive environment all around. So to kind of wrap up our dive into mindset,
Let's highlight those key takeaways.
absolutely. First off, your mindset isn't set in stone, okay?
You can shift from fixed to growth.
It takes effort being aware, but it's so worth it.
And pay attention to how you talk to yourself.
Yeah, that inner voice. When things get tough, are you being a jerk to yourself?
Or are you encouraging yourself, focusing on learning?
Those negative thoughts, they're sneaky, they hold you back.
Challenge them, flip the script, see the progress you're making.
And don't be afraid to ask for help.
None of us can do it alone.
Find mentors, connect with people who get it, create a safe space to be vulnerable and learn from those mess-ups.
Because we all mess up.
We do. And lastly, remember, this is an ongoing thing.
It's not like you reach growth mindset and you're done.
You'll slip back into old patterns. It happens.
The key is to notice it, right?
Notice it. Challenge those thoughts. Get back on that growth path.
Be kind to yourself.
So important. Celebrate your progress and just keep learning and growing.
It's about the journey. One of the things I love about Dweck's book is how hopeful it is.
I agree.
It shows us we're not limited by what we think we're capable of.
We all have the power to change and grow throughout our lives.
Our potential isn't fixed. We can keep learning, evolving, achieving amazing things. It doesn't matter where we start.
That is a powerful message.
Hmm.
It really gets you thinking about how you're approaching challenges in your own life.
It does. It makes you wonder where you might be holding yourself back with that fixed mindset.
And once you recognize that, it's like, okay, what can I do differently? How can I embrace this growth mindset and really unlock my potential?
It's exciting, isn't it?
It really
Mhm.
is. It really is exciting. Like you said, it's not just about us as individuals.
Bro, it's way bigger. It impacts everything.
Think about the potential if more families, schools, even workplaces adopted this mindset.
The ripple effect would be huge.
Exactly. Imagine a world where everyone's focused on learning, supporting each other's growth, not afraid to make mistakes.
Instead of tearing each other down, it'd be a pretty amazing shift.
It would.
Yeah.
So as we wrap up our deep dive into mindset, let's distill those key nuggets of wisdom.
Okay, what should people really take away from this?
Well, first and foremost, remember that fixed mindset. It's not a life sentence,
You're not stuck with it.
Exactly. You have the power to shift, to cultivate that growth mindset.
It takes work, sure, but it's worth it. And be mindful of that inner critic,
Oh, that inner voice can be brutal.
When you hit a snag, are you beating yourself up or are you cheering yourself on?
Like, hey, this is tough, but I'm learning, I'm growing.
Those negative thoughts, they can be so insidious.
They really can. So challenge them, flip the script, focus on the progress, even the small wins.
And don't be afraid to reach out for help, right? We all need a boost sometimes.
Absolutely. Find those mentors, those people who inspire you, who believe in your potential.
Surround yourself with that positive energy.
And remember, this whole growth mindset thing, it's a journey, not a destination.
There's no finish line.
Exactly. You'll stumble, you'll have those fixed mindset moments, we all do.
The important thing is to notice it, right? Don't beat yourself up.
Be kind to yourself, acknowledge it, and then gently steer yourself back on that growth path.
It's about progress, not perfection. So to wrap up our exploration of Dweck's mindset, let's leave our listeners with something to ponder.
I love it. Little food for thought.
What is one area, just one, where you could start applying this growth mindset today?
Could be at work, in your relationships, or even just a personal goal you've been putting off.
The key is to start somewhere. Take that first step. Embrace the challenge and see what you can achieve.
Because with a growth mindset, the possibilities are truly endless. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into mindset.
We hope you found it insightful, inspiring, and maybe even a little bit challenging.
And remember, the journey to a growth mindset starts with a single step. So why not take that step today?
Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and keep pushing those boundaries.